One of our earlier lessons when we created animation inside the document and exported it to Adobe PDF, it wouldn't work because it needs to be created outside the main document and brought in as a Swift file, which is really a Flash animation. So I'm going to close this and go back to our original document or whatever document we're working with to create animation. So notice in this one, this was I think from assignment 3, we've created animation inside it, but it won't work for PDF. So what we need to do is create animation outside, but we need to know what space we're going to use. So for that, again, I'm going to use my rectangle frame tool and kind of drag the size of this. So we're looking about, again, I'm going to round this up. So 1000 by 420, that'd be the size. So let's go create a new document, file new or Command or Control N. So once this is loading, thank you for taking so long in InDesign. Click on Web. Again, we're going to do 1000 pixels by 420. And make sure everything is unclicked. Check your margins. We want to make sure there's no margin. Very important not to have any margins on this one. Have your preview checked. Make sure it doesn't show any margins. Then create. Click Create. Now, we had 3 animations in the previous one. You can go ahead and create boxes for those as well. Kind of put them in there. It's up to you what size you want it to make. So again, this is kind of like this is your canvas for your animation, okay? I'm gonna hold my Option key, put the next 2 in there, make sure they're even. Spacing, go to my first one. I'm gonna do File Place or Command D again. And find my images. So whatever image you're using for this assignment. I'm again looking at assignment 3. So I'm going to use this one with cabbage or something like that. And then the second one, I don't know what the second one was. I think it was this. Okay, yep. And then the last one, Command D, wrong click. So I'm placing it on there. Now, if you notice that we need to make that a little bit bigger, you can just drag it out. They don't have to be exactly even. I'm just playing with the options here. On the camera, it is kind of bigger, isn't it? So I think the camera, what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to hold Command Option Shift and then make it a little smaller. And I'll prop it up there. And I'm going to work on the spacing here. Zoom out a little bit, make sure that space is good between. Alright, that's not bad. Now I may want to move them a little bit higher, depending how much space you want to leave between the animation, the bottom of it. Okay, with the first object, let's select the first one on the left and go to our animation menu. And we can choose any preset. So I already did a whole tutorial animation, just not doing it this way, but it's still the same thing about how you create animation outside the document. So I'm going to do fly in from bottom. Okay, and we're going to test that. Oh, looks good. Flies in. Okay, the next one. Again, by default, I don't know why it does that. It selects the image. So I got to unclick it, click it back. Animation. And let's choose some kind of setting. Let's go to the font settings here. Maybe Gallop. Let's try that. And from current appearance, we can try that. Opacity. Let's do fade in. Because we want to fade in. Let's test it out. Now, if you want to speed it up, you can. I think I need more space here between those two. Let's move it. So select the last object on the right. Oh, this one, what we're going to do is motion path. So I'm going to use my pen tool. Make sure it has a stroke selected. And we're going to draw out a path for it to take. It's okay if it's wonky like this. It doesn't matter. Then go ahead and select both objects using your selection tool. Hold the Shift key. Select the path and the object. Go under Object, top menu, Interactive, convert to motion path. It kind of moved a little bit. Now you can always select the path, extend it out. It's always cute to do. And what we're going to do is go under animation. I can preview it here right away. So it's going to play all of them. Okay, so it kind of goes backwards, right? Because I do not want it to appear like that. So I'm going to go to my animation again. And instead of animate current appearance to current appearance, because we want to come back to that appearance. Notice what happens when I do current location. Kind of goes from the top, right? So we're going to do to current appearance. Now, if I do fade in, let's test it. It looks like fade in. It's actually faded in. And it does it because we change it from current appearance to current appearance. So that means our opacity should be fade out. And let's test that again. That's pretty good. Again, I don't like the distances here, so I want to kind of change a few things up. The distances. One thing, I'm going to save this document, so Command S or File Save As. Call it Animation InDesign because I may edit that again. It is an InDesign document. And we won't use it for anything except for editing. Alright, so if I'm happy with this, now I'm going to go into File and I'm going to export. And go ahead and make sure the name is Animation. We want to make sure we select, by default I guess it did it for my last one, Flash Player Swift. That's what we want. Do Save. Replace. Now here we have obviously all pages, selection, scale. I would suggest setting up the size in the document, not here. Now for background, we can do paper color or transparent. Since our objects are not transparent, I suggest doing the paper color. But if you have a PNG file that's transparent, transparency will be better to use. We don't have any page transition here, so leave it all alone. Okay. Don't generate HTML, which tries to open here, which is annoying. So I'm going to close that up, go back to my original document that I've been working with. Now we don't need all this, right? Since it's going to be PDF, it's going to make it very confusing to have all those images, placeholders. So I'm going to delete all that. And now we're going to do place, so file place or Command D. Navigate to our Swift animation. Do it open. And then place that in here. Wow, I kind of did a good job positioning it. I did not expect it. Okay, if we need to reposition it, go ahead and do so. Then we're going to do Swift Preview. And what we want to do in the Swift Preview is when I click play, you notice you have to activate it. Make sure everything shows up okay. Okay, it looks good. So now I can go ahead and export it to interactive PDF. So you can do File Export or Command Control E. And I'm going to name it PDF right here. Make sure this format is PDF Interactive. If you haven't chosen yet, click Save, Replace, Export. Okay, okay, and okay. So many okays. Now this was animation. Notice it will load. Sometimes if you have a previous document open, go ahead and close it because it will not work right. And there it is. Yay, it works good now, doesn't it? So that's how you add animation into your interactive PDF.